All right, guys, well, the project for today is going to be changing the transmission and hydraulic fluid and filters on this Kubota MX5200 HST. That's hydrostat unit. To do it, it's going to be a pretty straightforward operation. Might get a little bit messy, but we're going to be changing out two filters. The transmission filter you can see sticking out from under the floorboard there. That's on the left side of the tractor. Come around here to the right side. This is the spin-on hydraulic filter. Pretty easy to access that too. So the filters are pretty easy to get to. The plugs are not terrible either. There are 4 plugs that we're going to need to pull to make sure we drain the whole system. 2 of them are accessed from back here at the back of the tractor probably most easily. You see those big round casing on either side of the tractor? There's a plug on the bottom of both of these. Kind of sits off to the side. There's the one there, and hopefully you can see there's the other there. So there are 2 small plugs there that we'll get to from the back, and there's 2 big plugs that we're going to get to from the side of the tractor here. I crawl up under here. So the one is pretty conspicuous. You see that big plug sticking down the bottom here? Pretty easy to notice this one. If it weren't for the manual though, I probably would have overlooked this one. This is the other plug that they're saying needs to be pulled. And this one sits flush with the case, and it actually looks like it takes an Allen head to remove that one. So that's the start of the project here. Now keep in mind when you're situating your drain pans and stuff, this system contains 11.6 gallons of fluid. So keep that in mind when you start to drain it. You may have to, pull one plug, let your bucket fill up, and then put the plug back in so you can dump your drain pan, or make some accommodations. But just keep in mind there's going to be a lot of fluid here, so this is going to be a messy one. All right, so here we are up under the tractor, and I've already pulled and replaced all the drain plugs, and you can see the last little drips are coming out from where I've removed the filters. I want to go ahead and take this opportunity to tell you guys that plug in the very front, this Allen headed plug, is unnecessary to remove if you're draining the whole system, and especially using that plug. So once I pulled that plug first, and once I drained that completely dry, I then removed this plug. And when I did, I didn't get a single drop of oil out. I could see that the plug was wet, so it's part of the system, but by using the big plug back there, it empties whatever case that is also meant to empty. So there's only 3 drain plugs you need to worry about here. The big one here and the 2 small ones in the back. Now those are important also to drain, because I did get quite a bit of fluid out of those. All right, well, here's the filters we're using on this. This is the, this is the hydraulic filter. This is the one that's on the right side of the tractor, the longer filter. This is the transmission filter, the one that's under the, like by the step on the left side of the tractor. And you can see the part numbers there, HHT AO-59900 and HHT AO 37710. And it's really nice when you can pull off the other filters and cross-reference those same numbers. So that's exactly the same numbers that were on here. So I'm really happy to see that I feel 100% certain I've got the right filters to go back on. Now this is the transmission filter that I removed. This is again the one that's on under the floorboard here, and nothing spectacular about that. The hydraulic filter, when I removed it, you can see that it has a magnetic ring, and I'm going to go ahead and remove that and clean that magnetic ring, but you can see how much that the magnet has captured. These are very fine slivers. I don't see a tremendous amount of them, and I don't see, chunks, big scary looking pieces of metal. So I'm pretty happy with what I'm seeing there. That doesn't really scare me. Well, I went ahead and cleaned up the magnet and get it ready to use in the new one. Open up the new one, and it has a new magnet on it. So that's pretty nice to see. All right, so I got my filter screwed back on, and one little tip, I always write the date that I change my filters on them, if I can think about it. So you know, something happens down the road, you lose your owner's manual. If you're marking your stuff down in your owner's manual, at least, you know, you'll be able to help yourself remember kind of when you did your service. Got the filters on, got the plugs back in, so now I need to fill the thing up. And to fill it up, you can see I got my funnel stuck in there. Got a little plastic cap that's marked oil, so it's very easy to notice. Back here between the lift arms on the 3-point, and stuck my funnel in there. My toolbox is in the way. This is not the original toolbox. If the guy had the original toolbox, you may be able to fill it up from the back, but I just flipped the seat up, and I'm going to stand right here and pour that bucket in that funnel, and we're going to fill it up till we see it back here on that sight glass. The little window down there, anywhere in the visible range is okay. That's the good operating range. As long as you can see it on that bubble, that's the good range. So I'm going to fill it up till we see it there, and then I'll probably run it a little bit, let it settle down again, and then make sure it doesn't need topped off. Okay, I guess I nearly forgot to mention the fluid that I'm going to be refilling this thing with. This is the Kubota brand Super UDT2. The manual says you could use Super UDT or 2. So I'm going to use this number 2. I'm sure that's just the latest one that they've come out with. All right, pop quiz. Is that completely full, or is that still empty? Keep an eye on your viewing glass when you're filling your when you're filling it back up. I happened to look down here. The glass was halfway full, and I topped it off with about a gallon or so. So I'm gonna jump up here, start up the tractor right now, and we'll let this thing run for a little bit. I probably put I put a full bucket and almost another bucket. So there's probably about 9 gallons as what it took to replace all this. So let's go ahead and we'll hit the key here, wait for the plugs. You can see that pulled that all the way down. Let it run for a little bit, and we'll shut it off and check on it then. All right, I was running it at about I don't know, 1500 RPMs for a few minutes, and you can see there in the sight glass there's just a little bit of fluid, and it picked up a little bit of color just in that little run time. So let's shut it off. Come back here, and it's about half full. All right, well, I hope you can see it in there. There might be just a little bit of an air bubble. So I added probably almost another gallon, a little bit more than I probably should have. But it's topped off, shouldn't be over full, should be pretty good. So total amount of fluid, I'm gonna guess there's probably only a gallon left in that bucket. So to do this project took 9 gallons of fluid roughly, and the book says that the system holds 11.6 gallons. So, you know, we missed maybe about 2.5 gallons, something like that was, you know, left in the system, and all the lines and the cylinders and stuff, I'm sure. So anyhow, I hope this video helped you guys. If it did, click that thumbs up button. If you want to see more videos of me working on this tractor or other stuff out here in the garage, click the subscribe button. And until the next video, keep on tinkering.